when I started to look at it from like an empathy standpoint, like you know what, the OGs who been doing stuff, they probably just can't really tap in with everybody. Cause think about now, like, bro, you probably got 1,000 conversations going on in your phone, whether it's DMs, text messages, phone calls, in person. You know what I mean? That's low key a lot to. Being overstimulated is a real thing. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
And like sometimes is you know you show love like even with Wallaby for example. Like I fuck with Wallaby. Like I know him
The
when I was
realest.
younger too. The realest for sure. I fuck with him. But like I understand why it's two different rooms and why we might not be really just tapped in with each other. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's you know something ain't conducive to each other. Like nigga might eat breakfast in the morning. I don't eat breakfast, so how we gonna link up and chop it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It be like that.
You know, I don't know if that really makes sense or not, but like,
Nah, I do.
Nah, that makes sense.
you know, so it just some life just be happening, bro. And I don't think it's that people don't show love. I just think it's
We all moving at different paces.
different paces, different visions.
For sure.
You know what I mean? How many cliques then come in the city like labels and groups and all that, and they end up breaking up?
That had that conversation with my dad. Yeah.
I think too, especially when you consider like we talking about the older artists. That means you know they probably in their 40s, 50s now. You talking about fathers, guys who move on doing other things now. What do you really expect from them as far as like keeping up in one state, super connected with the young people? You know, the young artists.
It's hard for them to do.
Yeah, so I definitely understand that too.
And then even people like our age, shit, niggas in college, or niggas trying to run businesses, or niggas
starting families.
Starting families now. Like it's just real life at the end of the day. Like event wise, too, be some shit I can't just pop up to. Not because I don't want to, but because I gotta watch my daughter or I gotta be with my girl. It ain't that I don't fuck with niggas. It be, you know, I fuck with it. I just, you know, it's
Fam come first. You got obligations.
Yeah.
I definitely understand that.
Sorry, having stuff.
What's going on, y'all? Y'all already know the vibes. Central Ohio Creators back in the building. We got the Jet Taking 3 vibes as always. Ohio Keys on the other side. You know what's going on. But today we got Zac Fresh in the building with us. Real 614 represented right here. Real Central Ohio Creator. This gentleman is a music artist in a lot of different fashions. Can rap, sing. Creative on the other side too. You see the drip. He big on the fashion too. You know what I mean? Got some other stuff going on as the page as well. Been a busy year for you as far as the performances goes, correct? So we got some stuff to get into. Appreciate you for being here though.
Oh yeah, I appreciate y'all having me.
Yes sir. Yes sir. We do got the beat hustler in the back. So y'all gonna hear him on the side too. You already know what's going on. Mastermind Click is in the building too. Let's get it, Keith.
All right, so Zac, what's your story and what made you get into music?
Probably my older brother. I remember being 9 and he used to record on my grandma's work computer and everything like that, and he wouldn't let me he wouldn't let me record. So, you know, it was just something that I just always wanted to do. Always been like a outgoing person, you know what I mean? Like talk to everybody. So once I started to record, and we just fell in love from there. First song I ever recorded was over the phone on my home. I'm probably like in 5th grade. We were over the phone recording. I think it was like Nuck If You Buck or something like that. Put that out on SoundClick, which I think is still out there. But yeah, just fell in love from day one for real. Just seeing, you know, I'm good at it. Like, you know what I mean? I was always good at it.
What were some of your musical inspirations growing up?
I'll say I listen to like a lot of Kanye. My grandma Kanye, Drake, but then my grandma and them, she always had like the Temptations going on in the background at the crib. You know, the old school, you feel me, the old Dre's, you know, the whole nine. So, and then my brother, he used to have a CD case with the Chronic album, with you know the Slim Shady LP, just different shit. The Wayne album. So like, I don't know. I ain't really got no specific influence, just because it was all just a part of my creative journey. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I sing, do the rap, and just try to do different things.
That's sure.
Your brother still do music?
Nah, he don't do music now. He in he a party promoter now. But yeah,
Okay. Now we got to get into the album, Wallahi. Y'all see the background, so y'all already know we big on the album. listened to it a handful of times. Definitely got some bangers on there. I think Link Up is the one that you were pushing.
Mm-hmm.
What's been the songs off the album you've seen with the most success this year?
Link Up for sure. Regular was a nice one. Walked In, Motion with Swift.
Shout out to Swift.
Yeah, Motion with Jay Swift, the legendary Jay Swift. That's
That's a legend right there.
yeah,
Fire
that
Union.
yeah, that was a I don't know how to explain it. Like that was like a moment for me doing this project. You know what I mean? Getting to work with somebody that I used to just ride on the bus listening to it. You know what I mean? And they was in the city popping and Brian messing with them and this and you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like how we speaking. There's a lot of people who got talent in the city and who had little moves going on outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's good to see it. It just felt good to work with a legend like him.
For sure. As far as the album going forward, is there any music videos that's definitely coming for it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What we gonna see in 2025?
We got a couple we working on. Walked In, we working on that one.
That Walked In is tough.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you had a reel that kind of went up with that Walked In. That's tough.
Yeah, it's about content, trying to make music
for sure.
The using that, so yeah,
that one's a banger.
That one.
Yeah.
Couple ideas, maybe for the weekend, and then the Wallahi for the story, the last record.
Okay.
So a couple of things we're gonna be working on with that.
Okay. Now, what does the Wallahi mean? What's that represent? What's that word?
It's every like I promise to God, or you know how when you telling a story, you say I swear to God, or just make it it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And like with this album, this was me kind of. It was like the soundtrack to my life growing up. You know what I mean? Like talking about my story with the music, with going on the road at a young age. And, so when I say Wallahi, I'm just this is the true story.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what that means.
Okay, and I think that's on the neck too, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the album. Okay,
Yeah,
I think I can see it kind of over on the side.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
cool.
cool.
Can you talk to us about the Somalian culture in Columbus? Because it's big here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they it's huge. North side, west side took over.
Yes, sir.
But it's definitely a prevalent culture here. Like even with the global malls and there's some getting into politics now.
Yeah,
There's a few running for city council and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely a big culture here. Food's amazing.
What does that mean for you though, to be here, especially in Columbus? Us being from Columbus, we all know North Side all day. Somalians got it on lock. Really on the East Side though too. It'd be some East Siders I be seeing out there, but North Side for sure. What does that really mean to you? With that being part of your heritage, like what does that represent for you, and then being from this city?
I mean, sure, it's just a part. Like whether I want it not to be a part of me or not. Like that's a side of me that I had to grow up with, that I had to accept. You know what I mean? And I gotta talk about because I got those experiences. That's a part of my life too.
Okay.
I got those experiences with my just the different traditions and living with my pops. Like that's just how it was.
I think Columbus might be the biggest hub in the country.
No, Minnesota
is. We probably somewhere like in the top 10.
No, we top 5.
Top 5.
No,
okay.
Top 5
okay.
Sure.
All right.
Minnesota definitely number 1. Man.
Okay.
I got cousins out there.
Word.
My sister live out there.
That's a bit. Okay.
And it helps add to the culture in Columbus, bring all these different styles, foods, music, even entertainment.
They just opened up a museum at one of the global malls up there too.
Okay.
So like actual artifacts from Somalia. It's starting to become a little more known. What it used to be.
Most definitely. Is there any inspiration from Somalia that shows up in your music?
Nah, not often. Wallahi would probably be the most one to show that.
Okay.
Cause I ain't never really talk about it much. I was raised by my grandma, but I lived with my pops too. So like I said, it's just different experiences. It's all a part of me. Like growing up religious. You know what I'm saying? Having friends who do what they do, and it's all a part of the story. That's just
For sure.
it's everything that molded me. So like even if I don't, that's why I say the soundtrack to my life. Because even if I don't speak on it directly, like this is just. If I was to think about my life, this is just how it would sound like. If it was a movie, this is the soundtrack for it.
I feel that.
And
See-
you titled it that because it's pretty much just a part of your life.
Mhm.
So that's him pretty much throwing a
Mhm.
jab at that, let him know.
We say wallahi is something we say in the community all the time. Like, you know what I mean?
So
You got some
you've
brothers
been-
and sisters down there in Southwest.
Mm-hmm.
You've been doing music for like 15 years now, probably more.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel like Columbus is missing on the music tip to go to the next level? Like, you've seen the progression. You're still currently in the prime, of your music career. What do you feel like Columbus is missing to go to the next level?
I think it's just the infrastructure, like actually having, something to give it the national attention, which I think we're getting there. Like, there's a lot of communities who are, trying to, like we got Franklin Tip, for example, like they trying to really push art, and GCAC, they giving out grants for artists in the city now and stuff like that. That's that's definitely a step above where we used to be. But I think ultimately though is just getting that national attention. You know what I mean? We don't really got nothing here but the, we got a couple sports teams here. You know what I'm saying? But like we don't got Def Jam headquarters here.
Right.
We don't got
no music headquarters.
no music NBC state. You know what I mean? Type shit. You know what I mean? So,
How you feel about the level of the radio station promotion for our local music? Or do you feel like it's present at all?
I think I only want to say I'm neutral on that just because I get it. You still need radio. Like, there's still people. There's a mass of people who listen to the radio.
Right.
And, there's a reach there.
Right.
But I also, think that you can do without it if necessary, especially now with social media and content. Everything being more visual now, and visuals being easily accessible more than just listening to it. You know what I mean? So now, as far as like here, maybe could there be a little more push on local music? Yeah. Do I understand why they don't? The business, I get it.
Yeah.
But I do think, and even the promoters here, though, like the ones who be bringing these or setting up these shows, like these concerts. I'm talking about like when, I don't know, let's say Moneybagg Yo come in for a concert. Why ain't nobody from the city on that?
That's kind of pretty much the argument Hurricane Chris had.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. I don't know. I mean, it seems like you said, we get in there. It's interesting because we were kind of talking about this a little bit before the camera started rolling. Like, back in the day, you kind of saw most people starting in groups. And then now you've seen it shift to like being as individuals. I think the reason that it's like that now is because that's like what it's kind of evolved into, but it's still like we're seeing the effects of it. Everybody was like in groups and like cliques instead of like working together then. So like now you see more individuals. Being independent is really the wave now, but it's still that same effect of so many people out here in the city doing stuff, but you haven't seen like that mass movement of people just all tapping in and working together. It's like in pockets. Okay, you got people over here that's like super cool with this group of people. It could be like veterans or the younger cast, but they cool with that group. So they probably have done work with them and they producers over there. Then, vice versa, it's a different situation, but same thing over here on a different side. Going forward, we need like everybody to like remove them walls and like everybody just tap in. You know what I mean? Start getting under the same roof together.
No, I agree.
COC and Mastermind Click, we putting that together.
It's on the way, baby. You feel me? Y'all know the movement. Y'all know what's going on. Interesting to just hear you say that though, especially because you do more than like just rap, like you're multi-talented, so you can see it like from both sides, you know what I'm saying? What do you think about the R&B scene though here too, as far as like with the singers go? Do we have anybody that's really turned?
Yeah, we got some people here. We got Kent, we got Suave, we got a couple shorties out here too that sing. I mean, I don't think it's as big as I don't think it gets as much recognition as the rap scene and as much as that it deserves. Because we got some talented singers. I mean, you got Ray Woods. You know what I mean?
That's kind of in general with the music culture right now. R&B ain't really.
Facts.
But what's so crazy about it too is that it's open for grabs. I guess that's
why people like Scissor can come in.
Take off.
We yearning for it. Like what's that? What's the old girl's name?
I mean, you had LMA. LMA was in that group.
You know that one song, Made for Me? Maya Tights.
I know you talking about.
But like, all it took was that little bit, and it just hit, and it ain't been a whole lot after that. But
people definitely
yearning for it. Yeah, you feel me?
Yeah, like seeing more of the visuals of it, like R&B definitely up for grabs.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And again, I wouldn't necessarily consider myself I'm not an R&B singer in any way, shape, or form. I just love music. You know what I mean?
Rider,
melody,
music.
You feel me? Like just when it feel good, it feel good.
Sure.
You know.
I mean, you kind of tapped in like with the. I mean, I don't like to like generalize it as Caribbean, but it's like that kind of vibe of music though. Like on that link up, that's like a whole different type of. You know,
it's definitely on some I'm a piano vibes.
You know what I'm saying? I caught a quick little burn the boy.
You feel me?
Okay,
yeah.
All right, you feel me?
That's because I worked on that project with Burn, DJ Burn, and we had I was just telling him about me being Somalian, how I grew up, and he was just like, it'd be good with I can't even say the word right now. I'm a piano, and it being an African genre. Why don't I tap into that too? And just because I don't think we got too many East Africans like who really go besides K9. Like K9 from Somalia, and he goes crazy. He an OG too for real. He, you know what I mean? He older and everything too, but he a legend. I'm trying to think. Like, I think there's a couple rappers who might be like Ethiopian too, but like somebody who really blew up though, like Nipsey. Yep, Nipsey. Yeah, I think he was Eritrean. Besides Nipsey, yep. My bad. I did. Yep, Nipsey, East African. I forgot. My bad. I forgot. R.P. Nipsey. That's crazy. But other than that though, like. It's not. It ain't really too many that really jump from out East Africa. Though.
Yeah. Agreed.
A lot of people be having it mixed in them, but they don't represent it much. You don't hear them speak on it much.
And that's crazy because that's really what I was trying to. That was the goal to do with the album was to
that's kind of what I discovered with your title. You wanted to
speak on it, like
get it out the way.
Yeah.
First thing you know, wow, let's move on.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What's your songwriting process? Or do you write still?
I write, but I mostly like freestyle the melodies and get a cadence down, and kind of being able to record myself. I feel like, and I think honestly for anybody, even like with a studio too, like it's being able to cook is at without having to rush for an hour. You know what I'm saying? Or being able to cook without having to. Any limitations on being anxious about how you might sound. You can try different things out.
Speaking, bro, that's almost the reason why the only reason I do it. If I had to pay for studio and all that, bro, I'm telling you, I probably wouldn't get on the microphone. You know what I mean?
It can get expensive. It can get expensive.
Definitely.
And even like with taking it, still ended up taking it to a studio. Like at least you're able to lay some foundation down to build on, and when you get into the studio, you know what I mean. You can be prepared. You gotta be prepared when you book studio.
That homework. Yeah, instead of doing it all right there in class.
Yeah, exactly. But that having so my record process, I just do the cadence, then I write to it. Sometimes I might freestyle and I just gotta fix a couple words here and just chop this out, do a couple takes.
Draft.
What's crazy is hooks used to be the hardest thing for me. Like I used to never be able to come up with a hook.
Yeah.
Like even James did not go to tell you like now like I feel like it's just so easier now because I'm just letting it flow and just
Yeah, hooks would definitely have you stumped. Like once I get past the hook, then it's like, all right, now let's have some fun.
Now let's have some
fun.
You say you've been doing music for like 15 years? Yeah, over time it all comes.
Yeah.
It's levels. You graduate.
Yeah,
shit you wasn't doing. I mean, you wasn't doing in the beginning. It hit
like that. Like I ain't understand ad libs until I got
older. That's a hard one for a lot of people in production. I see that problem often.
Octaves. I just probably understood the process of laying an octave down probably the last couple of years. But you know what I mean, 15 years out of 3. That's the only 3 or 4 years out of 15 that I finally understood how to apply that to the process.
Right.
So
graduation levels.
Come with the mastery.
Yeah, it comes with them levels.
I mean, the songwriting process, like if you listen to my early music, like even the Soulja Boy days, like that was way different from not even just because you know the time's different, but like just the way my mind works is just way different and sounds different from how it used to be. So like, you can hear the growth if you've ever just started from the beginning of my like all that first album and then keep going. You'll hear the growth.
Now, what do you do for your marketing? That was something we was talking about right before we got rolling. What do you do for the marketing? You just mentioned you were able to, get on tour with Soulja Boy, and I mean, you're well known around a lot of other well known artists in the city as well. What do you do to get your reach out there and really push your music in ways that some other artists out here kind of struggle with?
I mean, my main thing it really just be just tapping in, when I can, and just reaching out to the people. Like I said, being from Columbus, and I done went to school with like 80% of people from here somehow. We are alumni from this, whatever, or like it's just going. And also too, I think it's just really my personality. I do my own PR work, is what I like to call it. Like I go out, show my face, show my personality, speak to people. You know what I mean? It's almost like it's like the way I treat it is almost like you running for president.
Campaigning.
Yeah, you should campaign and like whether the means is there monetarily or not, like you just gotta show your face somehow, some way, and that's what people want to see for real. Is just the person behind behind it all. You know what I mean? When you put a face to it, it's like Coca-Cola logo. Like you feel me? Like your face is the logo, so they want to see it, whether that's in person or online. Because that's the other marketing strategy too. Now that I'm trying to get into and understand is just the creating the content. That's why I do the little fresh eats and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Where I go out and do the around the city.
I did see that on your page too. Yeah. That's actually one of the that's actually one of the biggest contrasts I've seen between like the veterans, like the old school versus the newer class. The newer classes, I mean, obviously because age got a big part to play in it, but we're heavier on the online social presence. Maybe like not so much like really like just physically tapping in with people, just pulling up. Versus like back in the day, everything was really in person. That was really how you had to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? By being there in person.
That's why we respect quality so much.
Out there.
I mean, and at he was doing it then, still doing it now. He on both ends of the spectrum. But that's how you really succeed. Where you gotta like constantly be able to adapt.
So yeah, you gotta be able to adapt for sure. Yeah. You gotta be able to adapt. It's like I said, there's definitely some people out here doing it though.
Do you feel like it kind of gave you an advantage starting so young? Like because you can't like starting so young, basically you got a nice little piece of game from the older class, and then now you still currently doing it too.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was definitely beneficial because it's like even when we was talking about earlier, like I said, graduation, like it's even just musically, I just learned different things. You know what I'm saying? And from different people, and even party promoters. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily. I'm not a party promoter, but like I understand what that the importance that those roles play. You know what I mean? I had to learn that over time from the OGs. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So,
do you have any memorable performances?
I'll say
from this year, if it's from this year.
Oh, from this year? Oh yeah. Top of the year was the Reliance show. That was amazing.
Where was it at?
It was at the basement over there and by the promo left.
Okay.
All right.
So we booked it through them. Sold out show. Had the band. I mean, I think that was a moment that I needed more for myself than anything. You know what I mean? Like I needed to see that, to really remind myself, like, this is possible. This is something that I can do.
You did was it a Tiny Desk performance? You did a Tiny Desk performance recently too?
We did like a submission for it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Now that actually turned out real good.
It was a smoke joint. What was it called again? Yeah, Runts. Yeah, that was smooth.
See, even with that, like the different palette, like you feel me? I said with my grandma with the Temptations, that was on some funk vibe.
It definitely was. Yeah.
But yeah, this year would be that. This year would be that for sure.
Okay.
What about 2025?
2025, man.
Goals,
I think,
project,
videos. I think the goals this year is 2025 is just more visuals, more more showing that face,
more visuals.
You know, getting out, doing more things. Like I think that's a missing. I really do think that's just the missing key to the city for real. Is more so just having them visuals.
You heard what he said, y'all. Man, you hit on the head right there.
Yeah.
You hit on the head right there.
Yeah, those visuals.
Marketing and then them visuals for sure.
The song, because nowadays, shoot,
You need that.
music low-key become secondary to the consumer now. They want to see you. They want to see what you know, what you look like, what you entertain. You're not just anything. You're an entertainer.
Yes, sir.
You gotta entertain the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Them visuals. You dropped what? 3 or 4 videos this year?
I think we did 2 or 3. It was 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Because I think the other joint I did was Practice, the one I did with Dreamcatchers.
Okay.
That record was a nice record, but that was like just a loosey internet record that I threw out there. Just then we shot the video for just for content, but I also wanted to let the people know that I can still do this. So I had to kind of talk.
Had to remind them real quick.
Yeah, I had to a little something.
For sure. Now, earlier you had mentioned that you kind of you weren't just waiting to drop an album to like release something, like even if it's a one-off, a single, whatever. Mm-hmm. How do you like find the balance on like keeping a steady amount of stuff out there but still wanting to work on a full project? Because we see that a lot in the city too, where people have like big gaps in between these projects where like, we checking into your work and it's like we ain't seen you drop nothing there forever. People forget about you, especially when you're trying to build a resume. So how do you find that balance in full project versus giving them some single stuff?
I think that's like what you asked me earlier about with the fame being a part of. We was talking about that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's okay to rest. I mean, you need that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think at the end of the day, depending on what your goals are, if you want to be world famous and you need to do this every day, then yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But your body needs rest sometimes. I mean,
for sure.
There's a lot of even celebrity, big artists who don't drop albums for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why we got kind of do that is just because we still trying to build it up. But I also feel like you just got to give yourself grace sometimes.
For sure.
Because usually after I take that break and then I come right back, that's when I make my best shit. Or my bad, my fault.
Nah, you good, yeah.
You feel me?
I feel that. Now, will we be seeing more singles though next year?
More singles, maybe some EPs.
Okay.
We might do another album. The thing is, I think the problem with a lot of, at least for myself, is just like I don't want to box myself into nothing. Like if it ain't natural, if it ain't in a natural, movement, I don't think it'll be conducive to whatever the success of what I'm trying to do. So like,
makes sense.
Whether I'm definitely gonna be dropping music, but whether it's singles, albums, EPs, I think the most important thing on it is gonna be just the videos behind it, the fresh eats, the skits, the putting my music behind it and enhancing that.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, the face is just more important than the music now at this point.
Most definitely. Are there any video producers you want to work with? Anybody you see their work and you like what you see?
It's the city going crazy. We got I know I would be like the Dreamcatchers, Ted Cadillac.
Okay.
Like them been my dogs for years, and they've been, getting set up for your boy. They shot the Dreamcatcher shot the Ruts video.
Okay.
The one I did, so that's who been doing like all my videos recently.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall though, city fine, man.
What about some Columbus artists you'd like to work with? It'd be producers too. Are there anybody in the city right now that you really like what they're doing? You'd like to catch up with, if it makes sense?
It's a lot here, man. It's a lot, to be honest with you. Just cause it's I'm open for whatever. Like, it ain't, like I said, that ain't even like that's not even like no cop out or nothing like that.
Yeah, nah, I feel that.
Because we got a lot of talent here that I would. Like you feel me? Like y'all, like y'all was talking about the palette earlier. Like I can do different sounds. We can do whatever need to be done.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of just do it.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Let's make it happen.
Let's run it up.
That's simple. Let's get straight to it. Most definitely. What's the legacy that you like to leave behind when it's all said and done?
That I didn't quit. You feel me? That I kept going. Whether my best wasn't whether you know my best wasn't my best for you or not. Like as long as you try, keep trying. That's all you could. Really do at the end of the day.
That's right.
It's going, bricks gonna be thrown at you. It's going, things gonna get in your way. But like at the end of the day, like as long as you don't quit, bro. Like don't quit. That's it.
That's right.
And that's in everything in life. I ain't even just
For
talking
sure.
music, but just
For sure.
You have a message for the Columbus youth?
I'm trying to think on that one because I remember being a Columbus youth. What did I want to hear as a Columbus youth? I mean, honestly though, it's the same thing. Just even when it sound hard, just do it. Like learn to keep educating yourself. I think educating ourselves, we kind of took that for granted coming out of school. Like,
definitely.
You know what I mean? I think I graduated and just hopped into life and just had to kind of learn it based off experience.
Most definitely.
Where I didn't, necessarily, when I could easily have just maybe paid a little more attention in school, maybe picked up a book or two.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you on that.
So, I say for the youth, just make sure you, obviously don't give up, but just get yourself right. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I remember I was second, I'll be able to hoop forever. I'll be able to da-da-da-da and do this. Now you get older and things change. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta, if you start early enough, you get ahead of the game. For real.
Definitely.
Get you some OGs too.
That's important too.
Yeah, you need those because they're what's gonna keep you in check when you start to get outside the lines.
Yeah, keep you in check, and if you got questions, like you got somebody to ask.
Exactly.
Comfortably ask about anything. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Very true.
What's the biggest lie you think was told about Columbus?
That we don't show no love to each other.
That right there. That really we do.
Yeah.
It's that we push the negative first. But we definitely support each other.
For sure,
What's something that resonates with all people in Columbus besides the Buckeyes?
In Columbus, Royals Chicken and Fish, Rush's Donuts.
Yeah, we got
Reese's. I might have said that wrong, but yeah.
Dang, you said Royals though. That one's different. Ain't nobody said Royals yet.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to think of what else besides the Buckeyes that resonates.
I mean,
the Big Barrel Livingston in Maine.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Right. I was about to say, I know exactly where he's going with it.
No, but
because that Bow Wow shit.
Eastland Mall. That little City Center.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, there's a lot of things that resonate with people in Columbus. I mean, even just the way our streets connect here too, like Broad and High Street pretty much is what separates North, South, East, West here. Like, Parsons is a legendary street. I've seen a lot of musicians come from out just coming up that way.
Wow.
You got like they call it the Short North, group or whatever. There's a lot of people that come out that area. You know what I mean? And we got like our. I don't want to say like our hood or our trap music, but there's legendary people that come out that, you know what I'm saying, from every hood in Columbia.
Very true. We did have Cameron coming through here.
You feel me?
We did have Wayne come through here.
Yep.
Yes.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Wayne, I forgot Wayne was here. By the Talibs. That's a city. That's something you should know for the Buckeye Talibs where Wayne was at. It's called Talibs. Clothing over there on Champion.
Okay.
Champion Livingston.
Yep. But yeah, man. Yeah, I think that's the biggest lie.
Definitely. Hold on. So you got to tell us your favorite Somalian dish, though. Can't let you slide on that.
Sambusa for sure.
Sambusa. Okay.
Every time, because it's like a Jamaican beef patty or whatever, just meat stuffed in crust. But every time, it's just a quick little easy. You can get 2-3 of them and be good.
Fire.
You know what I mean? But
put anything else in it? What all go in it?
Now you can put like beef in it. Some people do chicken, veggies. My dad and them used to put fish in it, so you can do that.
Okay.
Now I will say this though, like maybe that on the go, but I do love me some goat meat though.
Okay.
I do love me some goat meat.
All right.
And we call it hilipari. Yeah.
Sure. Let me get hip, cause man, I went to Where'd I go? I think it was an Ethiopian restaurant earlier this year. So I love to tap in with
Which
some
one you go
Somalian. It's one right there off East Main. You know where?
out Lalibela?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Right there, like right off of East Main, like on the corner.
legendary
Yeah,
Ethiopian
fire.
restaurant.
Yeah, fire.
The food kind of similar.
Yeah.
But nah, they Ethiopian food good.
Yeah,
too.
let me get hip to that Somalian though. Let me see what's happening.
Yeah, Hoyle's Kitchen good. They got I think they opened up their restaurant up north on 161. So you can get like actual, the actual Somali dish. The North Market one is Somali food too, like, but it's like just quick lunch type thing. But like the one, the OG spot is where you can get like goat meat. They give you a banana with your rice and everything. Like,
yeah, you talking about the plantains like that?
and not plantains. It's like just a banana.
Okay.
And we just eat the rice with the banana. Like the sweetness and the savoriness of the rice just mixed crazy. So like we just lay it in the rice and cut it with a spoon. Man.
Sound like pressure.
Yeah, bro.
Whew.
Yeah.
I like that.
A side of mango juice. Yeah, crazy.
I'm like, hey, I might have to take that one real quick. Let me figure out how to make that real quick. Put that on something. Yeah, man. When you learn how to make this, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Just enjoy. Yeah.
The people know where they can find you at, your socials.
Zac Fresh on all socials, all platforms, all Googles. ZAC Fresh.
For sure.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you, man, for the time. Any closing words before we get out of here?
Man, it's gonna be a crazy ride coming up, so I hope y'all ready. But that's it.
All right, y'all. Simple as that. Central High Creators. Until the next time, we out.
That was kind of fire.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you.